Hey, what's up folks? This is Kenny from Eagle Eye Shooting and welcome to the Eagle's Nest. If you're new to reloading or are thinking about getting into reloading, you're checking out Lee presses because they offer presses at a fraction of the cost compared to the other manufacturers. They do have a lot of options out there. And you're probably wondering which one to get or which one will better suit you. As you can tell, I pretty much have the whole Lee lineup except for the Loadmaster. And today, I plan on talking about two presses that came out in 2018 that are a great value for those who are looking at getting into reloading or those that have been reloading and are looking at advancing their skill. So the biggest advantage in my opinion for reloading is the fact that you could fine-tune a cartridge for your rifle or pistol to squeeze out any accuracy you can. 9 out of 10 times when doing load development correctly, you can create a cartridge that will outperform any match ammunition that you can buy at the stores. Though reloading isn't for everybody because it is time consuming, I'm just here to show you guys my experience. And in my experience so far, I've been able to take really budget rifles and make them as accurate as I can and take those rifles out to 1,000 yards. So if you're interested in reloading and are wondering what press to get, stay tuned and I'm going to talk to you guys about two presses I feel will work for you. So I'm going to talk about the new 2018 Lee Breech Lock Pro that came out in April. And the other press I'm going to discuss about and talk about first is going to be the new Lee Value 4-hole turret press that came out for 2018 as well. Now you get a lot of bang for your buck on this press. You can pick this up at Midway USA, LeePrecision.com, or even Amazon for around 85 bucks. And like I said, you get a lot of bang for your buck on this one. I actually do have the tall base version, the older version, full 4-hole turret press that I'll compare the new upgrade features on the new 2018 model with that one. But like I said, this is a lot of bang for your buck. You do get the upgraded roller handle, and it also comes with the new upgraded style handle system in which you could change its ergonomics really easily. You could change the angle of it and also the height. And of course what you see to mount it on is the Lee quick change base. So to go over the features on this press, as you can tell, the big difference between this press and the Lee Breech Lock Pro is the fact that this isn't a progressive press. It's somewhat of the middle. It's a single stage with an auto indexing system. So what that means is that every time you pull the ram up and work its first station, as it goes down, it will index to the next station. So you can set this up to have the folding sizing die. Second stage could be like your universal flaring die or your powder system. Your third station could be your bullet seeder, and your fourth station could be like a factory crimp die. So I personally like using the turret press. I use the turret press a lot for my precision reloads in 30-06 and 223. So the reason why I like doing that is because you could pay attention more to one cartridge at a time compared with a progressive press in which you'll have multiple cartridges on the station. Also, the big advantage on having a single stage is the fact that you have a lot less parts to deal with and are also cheaper. Shell holders are actually a lot cheaper than the shell carriers. You could pick this up specifically for your caliber for around $4. This is a number 2, so this will do 45 ACP, 45 GAP, 30-06 or anything of that size, and like I said, it is a lot cheaper than a shell carrier. Like I said, those are $4, and these right now for the Breech Lock Pro are $25. So that will be a difference if you're looking at getting into reloading, what you want to do. Like I said, it's a single stage, so you're not going to pump out that much ammunition compared to a progressive press. But what's cool about this press is the fact that you can change this out and make it a single stage without the auto indexing feature. Simply by removing the indexing rod, reinstalling your turret. From there it'll be a single stage, and then you can manually index to the next station. This also helps out for clearance issues. This press currently is offered for an indexing height when using the indexing rod for cartridges with an overall length of 2 inch and 313 thousandths. So a 30-06 case, it's going to be too long for using the auto indexing feature, but it actually isn't a problem. So one of the big differences that I noticed on the new 2018 model value turret press compared to the older is the fact that I actually have more clearance room on between the shell holder to the bottom of the turret. So if I was to take a measurement from the bottom or the top of the shell holder to the bottom of the turret, I am roughly on the older model 3 1/4 inches. The new 2018 version offers actually a little bit more clearance, which is going to help me out for my 30-06, and the measurement on that is actually 3 7/8. So I've got quite a bit more room. Like I said, you're limited on the auto indexing feature on both these presses to 2 inch and 313 thousandths. But that's not a problem, like I said. You could easily, like I said, take this out and turn it into a single stage just by removing the indexing feature. We're going to try out, I got a turret set up for 30-06, and I'll show you guys on the new press the room it has. This is a cartridge of an overall length of 3 inch and 508 thousandths. This is my 30-06 long range load using a 208 grain ELD. As you can tell with the ram all the way down, I got some room up here. Of course, if I was to use the indexing feature, it will hold up and start catching on the turret itself. So, like I said, it's a lot of room on this. What I like about it a lot, really, is the fact that I could easily just put my bullet in there without having to feed up in there and then slide the cartridge over into the shell carrier. Compared to the old one, which I'll show you right here. So for the older version, I'm not able to actually fit the cartridge in there without doing a little bit of finagle. I have to, when using my bullet seeder, feed the bullet and the cartridge up into the bullet seeder and then slide it onto the shell carrier like that, and then continue on with seating my bullet. So the new value turret press offers that much more room, and it does make a difference. For me, at least, I'm using, like I said, a full length rifle cartridge, 30-06, and you're able to at least work it on a single stage and do whatever you need to do for cartridges that length. So if you're looking at reloading 30-06 on a single stage press, and you just don't want to be changing out dies, which is the whole purpose of having a turret press, this may be an option for you. Another upgrade that I noticed on the 2018 version is the fact that they are using the new priming arm system that I found on the Breech Lock Pro. The old system used an old hook style, and the new one is the inverse hook. The older hook style I found to kind of be cumbersome sometimes if your ram does get dirty, to where if you work the press quite fast or hard over a period of time, that this arm will flop off and fall on the ground. So that was kind of annoying once in a while. It isn't a big deal, but like I said, having this system, I really like it. I actually found it to be a lot better than the older system on the Breech Lock Pro. Like I said, it hooks inverse style, so you're able just to throw it in there, and it's got a nice positive hook to it. I really like this priming system compared to the trough on the Pro 1000. And the reason why is because you have a more positive priming system and you have less tinkering to deal with. So this press comes with the large and also small priming arm. And another feature about that is the fact that it is stamped, so you're not sitting there trying to figure out which one's what as far as size. So thank you, Lee, for doing that for some of the folk out there that have a hard time seeing. Like I said, these are stamped, so really helpful. So the new 2018 models are coming out with a priming dispensing system in which the spent primers will fall through the ram and catch down into this tube, in which you could take the plug out and dispense your spent primers. So I'm really happy that Lee did that. The older tall base version does not have any kind of system to catch your primers. It just falls down into these two little spots here. And as you can tell, if you're using a quick change base plate like I am, There was no way for those primers to go anywhere, and the only way to really get them out is either unmount this thing and collect all the old primers, or put a hole in the bottom of that and hopefully shake them loose or whatever. Now, if you're reloading for multiple calibers, turret presses are very easy to change over. It is very simple to do. All it takes is a quarter twist of a turn, pull your turret, have your other turret. These are sold separately, of course. And if you're going to be using the auto indexing feature, go ahead and put your indexing rod back in. Throw the turret that's set up for the caliber that you want. Make sure that the indexing rod is seated correctly, and you're good to go. Other than that, change out the shell holder if it doesn't match your cartridge, and your priming arm if you plan on priming on the press. So I went from a 30-06 to a 223 in roughly 40 seconds. And if I had this turret plate set up for 223, I'll be ready to go. And using the auto indexing feature. So changing calibers on a turret press are very simple to do, and that's a big advantage, I think, for having a turret press. Not to mention that you don't have to, remove dies one at a time and reset them up, and that tedious process of doing it. You just opt in for getting more of these. These are fairly priced, very cheap, and have a little mounting system such as that just to have your other calibers. So pretty cool. So let's talk about the Breech Lock Pro and its features. So here is the Breech Lock Pro. In my opinion, this is another great press for those who are looking to get into reloading or are advancing in technique. This press, in my opinion, is a lot of bang for your buck. It's offered right now at Lee Precision for around 150 bucks. I've seen them go on sale for around 120 at Midway USA. Shooters World usually has a flyer as well. I've seen it went down to 112 promotional price. Like I said, this is a new press for 2018, came out in April. This is a true progressive press. What that means is there's 4 stations that are being used at one time per pull, compared to the turret press. So you'll have 4 processes happening every time you pull the handle down. The press uses the breech lock system. And the breech lock system is basically a quick change system. The press comes with 3 of these breech lock bushings and 1 breech lock eliminator, which is basically the breech lock bushing with a lockable ring. So I opted in for getting more of those. These are very helpful for setting your die and forgetting about it. But the breech lock system itself is very simple to do to change out your calibers. It's simple as quarter twist of a turn, lift up, get your new die, install it, quarter twist turn, lock it down, good to go. The press, like I said, a lot of features on it. It does come with the upgraded roller handles as well, and the ergonomic adjustable handle system here. It does use the same priming dispensing as the Value turret press, in which the primers will go down the ram and collect down there. Like I mentioned, this press offers a lot of features for those who are trying to automate their reloading process, be a little quicker. The press does offer the case feeding assembly, and you can opt in for getting the universal case feeder tubes. I'm having right here, I'm using just a rifle case feeding tube. It also is able to mount the Lee safety prime system, which I forgot to mention that this could actually be mounted as well onto the Value turret press. What it is a little Pez dispenser for your primers. It also has an option if you're using a auto disc measure for your powder system like I am. And I'm using the adjustable charging bar. I really like this system a lot. It has the option to put the chain mount onto the press right here. Also, if you're reloading pistol and want to automate the bullet feeder, it has a spot here for putting the bullet feeder system. So I'll show you guys that in a bit. So before I go and change calibers over, I wanted to show you guys how quick it is to actually prep your cases for your rifle. For instance, this is 300 blackout. What I like using is some of this unique case lube. I usually wear gloves for this, but you get a glob of that, rub it on your hands. Get a handful of cartridges, cases, lube them up. And since I'm using the collator, put them on top, give it a shake, and it'll orient base down. Station number 1, all I'm going to have on this press is a small base die. It's basically a resizing, decapping die from RCBS. And this is basically how fast you can really prep your cases. So I'm going to run about 15 cases. So this first one down. It's okay. When you run out of cases, you just swap over to the next tube. Alright. Now that I got the bullet seating die to give me the proper overall length, I'm going to show you guys how it looks like underneath. So you basically got your little finger. There you go. Little finger pushes out, pushes up, allows you to see the bullet. Don't forget the dispenser primer on this press, and keep on going. So let me go a little slower so you guys see. And that's basically how that works. So if you're new to reloading, this is how I recommend doing it on this press first. So you're going to be manually indexing this press. Your station number 1 is going to decap resize. You're going to Pez dispenser primer. I already got one in there. As it goes down, but before it hits the middle, you want to manually index. Push forward, and you'll see that your primer's seated. And then, oh, thought I had a second case in there. There we go. You're going to go up, charge the case, dispenser primer for your next case. Like I said, before you hit the bottom, you want to index your case. And since I got a case on that station now, I'm going to re-enable my bullet feeder. I just basically put the linkage back on. And now, oops, that was a spare bullet on top. Now he's going to seat your bullet, and like I said, everything is done manually. So another great feature on this press is the fact that it's really easy to do, even if you didn't opt in and getting the safety prime system or the case feeder. As you can tell, I took it off, and I'm going to show you guys one-handed in manual index mode how easy it is. This press comes with a little area where you can actually insert a case through here, so kind of cool. Put the ram all the way up. Get yourself a case, throw it in there. Like I said, this is in manual index mode, so station 1 will decap, resize my brass, and I'm going to grab myself a primer over here. Some say you want to use gloves when touching primers. The oils in your hand can disarm that primer. So, before it goes down, index it. You got yourself a primed case. What I could have done also is throw in another case there, so let's do that. Alright, throw in a primer, powder dispensed, and before it goes all the way down, index it. And like I said, if you wanted to, which I always have been forgetting, I haven't done manual index mode a lot, throw in a case like that. So now you got yourself a, all 3 stations all ready to go. I got no more bullets set up there, so let's see about putting in a bullet. Let's throw in, let's see, let's throw in 3 bullets for this. 1, 2, 3. All right. So now, got my little gas check bullet going there. Gonna go up, do his thing. Let's go ahead and throw another case in there. And, oop. Alright, throw in a primer. And before it goes all the way down, index it. Boom. There you go. So, like I said, it's pretty easy to do. This is plausible for the new reloader. It is a little bit more steps compared to the turret press. It also takes a little bit more time to caliber change. But if you're looking into advancing later on in the future, want to produce more ammunition, Progressive press, of course, will produce ammunition a lot faster because you're having more processes done at one time. So that's my experience so far with the Breech Lock Pro. Like I said, I'm very happy with the press. I think it's got a lot of features on it. The Value Turret press, in my opinion, is a great press for those who want to get into loading and don't want to spend too much money. Like I said, the big advantage of this is the fact that the shell plates or the shell holders are a lot cheaper than the carrier on a progressive press. You're looking at about $5 there compared to 25, and you're able to pump out quite a bit of rounds as well. Though you're only doing one round at a time, with the indexing feature, you can really make some rounds pretty quick. And on top of that, caliber changes are very simple to do. Well, folks, this is my opinion on the two presses that I feel are a big bang for your buck. The new 2018 models are just awesome. One thing about Lee is their lifetime warranty. They are just awesome people. When you call Lee, if you ever have a problem, you're not going to get transferred to a bunch of different people in different departments. You will talk to one person, and that one person will know pretty much every feature about any press out there, and or get you the part you need without questions asked. So Lee's customer service, I could say, is spot on. They're awesome folk, very down to earth, and very willing to help you out. So if you're looking at getting the reloading, I highly recommend checking out these two presses. The Value Turret press is like I said, big bang for your buck. I like using it for my precision reloads because I'm able to be a little bit more intimate on one cartridge at a time. But if you're looking at some more volume, the Lee Breech Lock Pro is a great option. It has all the features as a turret press, but in a progressive mode with an option to go single stage. So $150 and $85. These two presses are, like I said, big bang for their buck. Great value. I chose this because these two presses are actually really easy to work with, a lot less tinkering compared to the other ones. And as far as the price point, it will basically pay itself off in a few reloading sessions. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions, comment below. If you're new to my channel, please click the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the bell icon. Other than that, check me out on the Reloaders Network. I am one of the authors on there. I've been posting articles about precision reloading. And it is basically www.thereloadersnetwork.com. It's a great place to learn about reloading. Anything to do with firearms, firearm related content that you find here on YouTube is going to be on the reloadersnetwork.com. A lot of folk are going there because of YouTube's stupid policy. So go check that out, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.